Mic check, 1, 2. My real name's Jeremy Waltrip. I was born and raised in Sacramento, California, the North Highlands side. I have the GSXR 750, the 2000 model, first year fuel injected, and the new aerodynamic fairings. The reason why I chose that bike was my older brother David, who had passed away. He owned that bike. And so him and a group of friends at the time, you know, they all had bikes. Most everybody else had 600s, but my brother had the 750 GSXR. And so I pretty much rode everybody's bike. You know, I wasn't licensed or anything, but I rode everybody's bike. But my brother David's bike was the one that felt so solid. Like this bike, like I'm riding this bike rather than this bike riding me type thing, you know, because some bikes are really light. They feel like you're on a bicycle, but that particular bike has weight. So I feel like I'm actually on something that's, you know, bigger than me. And so when I went looking for a motorcycle to buy myself in 2017, I went straight for that bike, the GSXR 750. And then the one that I found, it actually was brought in from Canada from the first owner. So I don't even think it has that limiter that most American bikes have. Like literally, that thing just keeps on ripping. It doesn't go, it doesn't do that. So it's a cool bike, you know, I love it. But I thrashed it when I first got it. It looked pretty much showroom. It had a couple of special fairings or you know parts and everything that like made it stand out. But within a year, I was doing wheelies, laid that thing down, broke it all up. I had to rebuild it 3 times since then, you know. But yeah, that's my favorite bike. It's my stunt bike. Gearing up completely is going to be a safe ride. Enjoyable, you know, if you're hot and sweating in all this gear on a hot day, you know, I could see that not being too enjoyable. So maybe something that has like a breeze through, you know, maybe it's like underarm wings or something that's allowing the air to come in, but you definitely want to gear up. I don't gear up so much these days because I've gotten more careless, but I did gear up for the first 6 years of my riding, so I suggest it. You guys gear up, it's safer. There's a couple of them. I want to say the big ones would be the bay rides, like the Tour the Bay or Sack to the Bay ride, and then there's also the Lovers ride that Throttle Nutz would hold. The Lovers ride stood out to me because it became a very popular ride. Like it was one of Throttle Nutz's more famous rides. And then because it had a sentimental value with me, I mean, plus we always had fun. When we went out to the bay, like we'd go up to the bridge, it was just a lot of fun. It eliminates depression. That's what it did for me. When I got my motorcycle, I would just basically go for a ride. Like I could have a bad day. Don't ride angry, you guys. Never ride angry. It's worse than riding drunk. I almost went off a cliff riding angry because you get into a thought and you're in that thought, and when you're riding you need to have your eyes everywhere quick, and when you're in that thought you're not. You're just like in that thought, plus you're pinned into and you just fly into those corners. I almost went off a cliff, you guys. Don't ride angry. But I was out basically anytime that I wouldn't, you know, be happy or anything like that, I would just jump on my bike and go for a ride, and of course, you know, I feel good. And then even today, like that feeling never stopped. All the way even to today, like I'll jump on my bike and I'm just loving it every minute. I mean, especially now that I'm doing wheelies and, you know, all nice open area, girl or kid or whatever wave at me, bring it up. Yeah. You know, that's another one too, is how happy it makes other people. Like, especially with the Sonic helmet cover that I have, like I get kids waving at me all the time, you know, people, even adults, you know, people will drive by like, yeah, cool, you know. And so seeing how happy that I can make other people, even just being a motorcyclist, but even having the character of it all, you know, that feels good as well. Like it makes me happy to see other people happy. There's definitely a lot of challenges out there. I think popularity is one big one. You know, when you get out there and you start mingling with bikers and you start going on group rides, there's a lot of intimidation, there's a lot of competition. There's people riding really fast, and so trying to keep up with people like that, you know, it can get very dangerous. And a lot of the times we go out of our comfort zone, and I've seen a lot of people actually wreck trying to keep up with riders. But that's probably one of the biggest challenges. In doing that, speed is one of the biggest, most dangerous things out there. So speed kills, you know, guys. Anything over 100 miles an hour, you know, just expect to die if you go down. You know, be safe. But there's been a lot of situations that I had been in. Like one of the first ones, I was following behind a group of about 10 riders. We were on the river road, and everybody's going around this truck, and we're in this like long sweep, not like super sharp, but just this really long sweep, and everybody's going around this truck in this turn. Well, now it's my turn to go around the truck, and there's a car coming, and so the truck, you know, it's like as soon as I'm going around the truck, we're all lined up. You got the truck, you got me, and you got the car. And then a breeze happens, and it like blows my bike, because my bike's leaning like this, and so the truck's here. It blows my bike towards the truck, and my wheels almost hit his wheels. We're like this. So that was one of the most scariest, and we were about 85 miles an hour in that turn going around that truck. But that was the first time that I was like, holy shit. And it happens so fast. It happens like that. I gotta watch my language on. But it happened, when it happened like that, I was like, wow, you know. But it happens so fast, you know, it happens like this all the time out there on the road. But you could be in a situation where you're like, okay, I'm gonna make this move, and then within a second you're in one of the most dangerous positions you've ever been in, and then within another second you're out of it. You know, so it literally happens that fast. Speed. Speed is the biggest challenge. Slow the throttle. Or that's actually speed, so roll the throttle. Actually, there's a lot of people in the community that I admire. I'm gonna start with Shasta Smith. Shasta Smith has, without needing anything from anybody at all, she's done it by herself. Well, not by herself completely. She's got Dennis, who's helped her pretty much the whole time. But like, she's a huge entrepreneur and role model for moto community here in Sacramento. I believe she's from Sacramento as well. She's been riding since she was a teenager. You know, she's been through a lot, and she's got a quality product. They rebuild vintage motorcycles. She's got a beautiful display out there. A couple other people that I admire as well would be Miller Built. I love the way that Miller Built rolls. Limiters Unlimited. Those guys are coming up pretty hard right now. Dalton. I actually admire Dalton. I've never met him personally, but I admire his sober. You know, that he's able to just, you know, live his life without anything, you know, and just be sober. I think that's awesome. And of course, what he's doing, you know, he's doing a big thing for the community with his rides or with his shows and everything like that. Whatever you guys can do for the community, like, I admire that. You know, I don't see myself as better than anybody. I always see myself as equal with everybody, and I love seeing people just do things for other people. I've been doing music since I was 19 years old. I always had the dream of being a rapper through Tupac. So me and a buddy of mine would walk around town at like 14 years old, rapping all the Tupac songs. He would take a verse, I would take a verse, and we would just go back and forth like literally all day long. So I knew all the Tupac songs. So I was a huge Tupac fan. And then Tupac got shot. And so I started listening to Master P a little bit after that, and then Eminem came out. Eminem sparked a lot for me. He basically showed me it was possible. Tupac gave me the dream to do music, but Eminem showed me that it was possible and basically paved the road that I was able to walk down, like most other white rappers that are in today's world. We used to have chat lines on the phone. So you get on the phone and you just talk to people on this chat line, and you push 1 to go forward or 2 to go back or whatever. And I would rap to people on these chat lines, and they'd be like, damn, that's pretty dope, you know? And so within 4 months of me even writing music, a buddy of mine that I did music with was doing a show, or wanted to do a show out in Las Vegas. It was a competition. It had like 500 people there, a bunch of artists, and it was a pretty good show. You know, everybody was feeling it and everything. And so from the chats to the show, I really started to believe in myself, and then started to vision, okay, I just want to release 1 album, see what the world feels about it, and I eventually got that done. So this is my first album right here, the first book, and I produced that one in 2009. I did it by myself. If I don't produce myself, this shit's never going to come out, so I produced myself, and now I'm 3 albums and 2 singles in, and I'm working on a lot more. I literally have about 8 albums that are ready to go right now, and so fingers crossed, it's actually a New Year's resolution this year that I can release 8 albums to catch up, and then next year we'll start on another 8. Every minute that I'm on that seat, I feel I get better. You know, even my Gixxer was down for about 3 years, and I didn't remember the feel of it when I got back on it. And so, you know, it's scary. I'm taking it easy. You know, it's got a lot of torque because it's geared down for wheelies and stuff. You know, and so getting back on it. Getting more used to it again, but now it's like I'm feeling it again. Before it went down, I was just getting to the point where I was starting to slide corners, you know, and now I'm getting to that point again where I'm starting to feel comfortable enough to slide corners. So every minute you're on the seat, it's a good one. Yeah, Superman. Superman. Like, I want to go so fast that I can make the world spin in the other direction. And I wasn't really even into Superman until then. And, you know, I'd be, you know, jamming 130 or something, you know, and just feeling like Superman, you know. I think Arrow would definitely say some good things about me because he's seen a lot of growth. And Arrow is a guy, you guys. I know most guys try to claim to have a female bike, but Arrow tells me straight up, I'm a guy. I can feel it. There's no woman. There's no woman in that bike. That is a man. But he would definitely say how much I advanced, you know, so quickly. Because like I said, within a year I was already doing wheelies. And I'm doing clutch ups. Most people don't even know how to do a clutch up, you know, so a lot of people are doing power ups. But not only that, you know, he would probably tell you of how considerate I am of everybody else on the road, because I am very considerate. You have to be so aware of everything around you that if something happens and you don't react to it, then it's your fault. And that keeps you so sharp and on point. Plus it keeps you considerate of others. You know, you allow this person to go. You're not racing the line. I think Arrow would also tell you guys about how much I care for other people. You know, I don't want to see a rider left behind. So instead of racing for the front of the group and, you know, being up there in the front, I like to be in the back because I want to make sure everybody else is in front of me. You know, if anybody's left behind, I'd rather it be me. I'm sure that's a story Arrow would tell you guys. Arrow would definitely be able to share some stories about parties. It's down. You know, the bike doesn't work right now or something. And that's like the only reason that I don't ride. Honestly, I'd never make an excuse not to ride. I even love riding in the rain. I know a lot of people aren't even into that, but I love it. Last year, I pretty much rode all year round through the whole rainy season. Everybody at work's like, dude, you're crazy. In 2019, I test rode a street glide. It was a nice street glide, and when I test rode it, it was like, it's nice, but it's not for me. You know, the ride itself, the weight, the size, you know, all that stuff, it's just not for me. I like the real slender bikes, you know, up higher, slender, lighter. And when I visioned myself riding back in 2014, it was a sport bike that I saw myself riding because I was doing stunts in that vision. The usual position is kind of like a horse racer. You know, you're like up this way and you got your arms kind of like tucked like this. And so that's how I always visioned, you know, riding. It was like my iron horse, basically. I'm on my iron horse. That's the feel that I like, you know, being on that racing horse. I try not to do wheelies outside of town. That way if I have to get towed back, I don't have to get towed back from far, right? The road glide, street glide, it's just too much bike for me. But I also have a 2001 Bandit 1200, and that one's perfect. It's got a lot of power. It's a bigger bike. I think it's like a 600-pound bike. It's, you know, steel frame and all that, and it has like a cruiser-looking front end, so it kind of feels like you're on a chopper type thing, you know. So I actually like that bike more as a road bike. I keep both wheels on the ground there. I don't do no burnouts and stuff, you know. Let's grow the community, you guys. Let's get rid of all the drama. Whatever issues or whatever it is that you may have with somebody else, you know, that would lead to a negative outcome, just get rid of it. The motorcycle community is one of the most friendliest communities that I've ever been part of. You can literally just walk up to anybody and make a friend. You know, there is a lot of judgment, as I was saying, you know, where when you're getting in, you know, you feel like you got to keep up with people and stuff like that. And I feel like more people should care about the person who's not keeping up. And as far as the community goes with growth, start groups. You know, do YouTube channels. Use your hashtags. Start TikTok channels. Get to know other riders and you know, collaborate with them and grow groups. Birth a new group. If you have an idea for a group, or if you just want to do a group on your own where you're able to just group up people and ride, I'll promote you in Throttle Nutz, you know, and that's what it's about. Throttle Nutz is here to promote the growth of the group. Throttle Nutz it's not a group, it's a place, basically. You know, it's a billboard to the community. So if there's something that you do, if you have a YouTube channel or a group or anything like that, group rides, club events, whatever it is, promote it in Throttle Nutz. Post it, make an event. Post it, tell people about it. Post it 3-4 times, you know, post it, you know, a week before, the day of, just let everybody know, keep the reminders coming, and that's what Throttle Nutz is for, to promote that. I would love to see the true potential of what our local NorCal riding community could look like. Because in Sacramento, in the outlying areas of Sacramento, like, we have 3 million registered residents. That's registered, you guys. And the largest motorcycle riding group is only 10,000. We literally just started mining. There's a lot of gold left in that mountain. So let's get out there and get it. I'm meeting a lot of different people, you know, and linking up with the real ones, the ones that are really trying to do something positive for people, and they're not thinking about themselves, they're thinking about how they can help other people. And those are the people that I like to promote and get them out there, because those are the people that are going to help everybody, like the newcomers coming in. They're going to help everybody move to that next step. You know, you meet new friends, start new things, new traditions, new rides. Like, for example, the Lovers Ride. The Lovers Ride is a yearly ride, you know, and if you guys came up with something that was a yearly ride, promote it. Even if the first or second time that you hold a meet, nobody shows up, just keep doing it. Consistency is the key. And use Throttle Nutz. Throttle Nutz will help you get out there, because my job is to keep on meeting a bunch of people and bringing them into Throttle Nutz, because I'm trying to mine that mountain. You know, I want as many of those 3 million people in this group as possible, because it's only going to be a benefit to everybody else. I want to do a shout out to everybody. I want to do a shout out to everybody. I want to do a shout out to the haters. I want to do a shout out to the homies, you know. Yeah, no, definitely a shout out to everybody. There's a lot of people who helped me along the way, and you know, there's a lot of people I helped along the way, and I would like to see that pay it forward thing keep on going. And shout out to everybody who's really putting it out there like that. Shout out to everybody who's doing anything when it comes to events or rides or anything, you know, getting everybody something to do out there. Shout out to Bike Night. Let's do a shout out to Bike Night, to the founders of Bike Night. I don't know if you guys know much about the Bike Night, but it's like 20 years old. And these guys, there's only like 13 of them, you know, and they were just consistent for a couple of years, and it just started getting bigger, and now we're seeing 500,000 bike turnouts, you know, and it's a 20-year tradition in now. Every Thursday night, this is something that Sacramento's known for. And so shout out to those guys. I actually met one of the original founders of Bike Night, Mike, I believe his name was. And shout out to everybody. Anybody with a vision, shout out to you. Bring it forward. You know, let's create it. I'm here to help. Anybody in my manager roster, we want to see your vision come to life, because the future of the community is what matters for us. So shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to the motorcycle riders of Sacramento, NorCal.